for like when.
1 2 1 2, need my attitude. 3 4 3 4, check my latitude. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that.
Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? Brittany still dancing. We love our intro music for sure. So as you can tell, there's usually 3 of us. Yvette is feeling under the weather today, so she's not going to join us, but she will be back next week, hopefully, and ready and raring to go. However, so today it's just Brittany and I. And those of you that have watched Brittany and I for a while, we've been doing this for a hot minute. And so we are talking today about collaboration. What does collaboration mean to you, Brittany?
Well, I was told at the beginning of the call I had to introduce collaboration. Somehow with Yvette, we always have plans, and I'm not used to this.
Yeah.
So collaboration is really when you can work with people. So Sarah and I, we started networking together. We realized that we click. We really enjoy spending time together. We're good at what we do. And so we started going live probably over a year ago. And so it's been a really good collaboration between her and I, because it takes that accountability and that tech, and then it kind of merges it with the leadership and the HR. And so now we're able to highlight, but also we're able to tell people, you know what, I know an amazing HR person. I know an amazing person who's really great at leadership and is now making coloring books for it.
Who is this person? She sounds pretty cool.
I know. She's one of my favorite people. So when we're able,
a whole show about her one day. Go on though.
I would love to. I do a whole show about Sarah every day. If you network with me, I say her name at least 10 times in one meeting.
I was just talking to somebody about that this morning. I'm like, when I'm not in the room, I know Brittany says my name, and she knows I say her name when she's not around. And that is one key to collaboration. We'll get into that though.
Right. So with collaboration, it's really, and Sarah and I were kind of making our list of collaborations, and there's a difference between people who are working side by side together. Like we know a really great group of people who are all individual businesses that have their own networking, and they let everybody kind of intermingle. That's a great kind of collaboration, but at the same time, it's just a mingling of meetings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's when you actually work with somebody. Stephanie has an amazing cohort that she's building that has containers. So the Boundaries Babe is creating a container with 12 different coaches. And so they uplift and really work together every month to support the people who are purchasing that package to get that collaboration.
Just for a second though, if people aren't in this world that you and I kind of live in with a lot of networking and a lot of collaboration, what does container mean? Give an example of that, like, or what would that be in a different term for someone?
So we were kind of excited when we heard Stephanie say container, because it's a better way of talking about cohorts and kind of masterminds almost, but a little bit different because you have an actual lead. What is the word that you're trying to make me think of, Sarah? Because it's not coming to my mind. I know what it is though.
No, that's the problem. I can't think of it right now, but I think that you did it. I think you explained it's groups of people that are working together for a common purpose to help each other grow, and it's for a set amount of time. So basically you're kind of put into a container with each other and said, okay, you're your group that you're going to work with. Here's your team lead. Let's make some things happen. And it's a really great way to meet new business owners, to meet new people that are doing similar things to you, but in different paths and different business structures.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're able to do that, you're able to help your clients more because now you have added support. If you're in an accountability meeting and I'm there and Sarah's not, there's going to be a great level of support, but when Sarah walks in the room, it gets elevated a little bit more because she knows how to add to what I'm saying. And sometimes she knows how to talk to somebody differently, because sometimes my verbiage is it's very Brittany. And Sarah's able to kind of take it into a direction that is different because people sometimes need a different approach. And
Sure.
so we're able to really help with that give and take. And so in cohorts inside of containers, there's an ability to kind of see what's needed and be that outside source to help that.
Yeah. And so, in a lot of ways, Brittany and I partner with things. So, what she was just describing is, if we're both in the same room and somebody asks a question, we're partnering to answer that. We're partnering to build a holiday party, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But then there's those levels of actual collaboration where you're not a holiday party, but you're building something, you're doing something for your businesses, right? And so I want us to talk a little bit about Terry and how that collaboration worked with us and how she's building collaboration with other people.
Yeah, I love so so Terry was voluntold by Sarah, and this is very important because when you guys are in meetings and you're networking with people and you're talking to different people, there's a lot of ideas that come through conversation. And Sarah saw a need, and Terry was one of the people who could actually fill that need. And so when we were in this room, we were in a room with a few network marketers,
Yeah.
and the network marketers kind of struggle because on one hand, they have a company set of rules, products, and things that they have to kind of conform to and stick with. On the other hand, they are a business owner. And
Mhm.
people do not recognize them as an actual business marker. They use the words MLM, they use the words clingy,
Yeah.
overwhelming, or salesy. And so how do people in network marketing actually bring this together and run a cohesive space? And we've known Terry for quite a while, and we know that she has the actual ability to make that happen, as well as she's very articulate. So
Yes.
inside of being I posted that in the wrong chat again, Sarah.
Well,
So
she's
inside of being articulate.
Sure. But Terry, the reason we did this is because one of the things that came up in that meeting was that network marketing doesn't necessarily fit into the regular networking meetings that all of us in my circle and Brittany's circle are attending. They get something out of them, but it's not the same. And so I challenged Terry, and it was more of a challenge, not a voluntold, but maybe it was both. I don't know. And so to set up a network marketing, so all of these, what people will put into that MLM category, or I wish there was more words that we could use to describe this, but get them all into networking with each other to learn better ways for sales, interesting ideas for sales, and bounce those things off of each other that only they feel because of that market that they're in. And to have those people supporting you and to have that accountability to building your business within those environments, I think that Terry's building something wonderful. And hopefully we can throw that link in the right chat too.
Yeah, I can do that too. In the right one is the keyword.
I was very clear on that. Sorry, go ahead.
So inside of those spaces, though, what you really want to look at, and especially with MLMs, Pampered Chef, Mary Kay, those different ideas, Amway, you want to look at what's your leadership. And sometimes that's missing. And that's why we really kind of reached out to Terry inside of this. And when I say voluntold, an idea happens and we kind of assign it to somebody and they either run with it or they don't. right? It sits or it doesn't. And Terry really picked up the ball, and within 2 days we had a logo. We had we and then she created a school group, and everybody who is a part of school, it's a phenomenal space, SKOOL. She created that, but then she was like, oh no, this is going to cost a little bit of money. This isn't necessarily an endeavor that I'm looking at to earn money in. So then why would I put out money? And so we took the collaboration of not only creating this together, but then I was like, well, you know what? Why don't we put it inside my community, which is already a paid community, and it's not in school, but it's its own entity. And we could actually really work together. I can do some accountability for you. They're inside that accountability. So now they have a business structure to support them. And then they have that separation of this is our space inside of what we do, how we do it, and how we can support each other. And so that's how we really elevated that idea and created collaboration that's going to be a long-term partnership. And like you said, Sarah, when you have those long-term partnerships, you actually get to get a little bit more exposure in different areas.
Right. Exactly. And again, there's a fine line between, collaboration, partnership, networking. And I just want people to think about all three of them, but how can you build on all three of them, and how can we all kind of grow together and build our businesses? If you're working from home, especially trying to build a business, trying to be an entrepreneur, and you're doing it alone, it's tiring. It's hard. If you don't have somebody there to bounce ideas off of, that's what some of these things we're talking about are for, right? And so we're going to continue on with your community right now, because that's where we, built some of that for Terry. That's where Terry's group is going to live. But I want to talk a little bit too about the different things that businesses need. It's not just about networking, right? Sometimes, especially when you're starting out, you need somebody that can help you. And I'm making a joke here, but balance your finances, but that's not really what you need, because most of the time when we're starting out, we don't have any finances to balance. Okay. So, but businesses need that financial aspect. They need to understand how to put costs on things, right? Especially if you're a service. How do you assign a dollar amount to what your worth is for a service? But also, how do you create those spreadsheets for your business without having to pay for QuickBooks? Right? Things like that. So tell us a little bit about Lisa and what her business entails and how that's working with your community.
Awesome. I will. But Terry, hello. Thank you for joining our live. We appreciate it. I think she popped in after we talked about her. So.
Oh, Terry, we talked about you. Go watch the replay. Okay.
All right. So Lisa Marie Robinson is an amazing financial. She helps with financials, and really, she has those tidbits, right? So she's able to. She's going to do a weekly Q&A, but inside of the community, she has her own channel, like Terry has. And so you can come in and say, hey, this is a financial issue I'm having right now. What are the things that we're looking at? Right. So you're able to get a little bit extra assistance, right? Because she's going to be in there. And guys, we are not promising 24/7 coverage on here, but we are, but we will be active inside of the community. We will communicate with people as we're available. And she is able to kind of give a little bit of tidbits when you ask those questions. And you're right, Sarah, financially, sometimes we run on, and we had this conversation on one of Forrest's. So when you come to a meeting, Forrest is normally there too. He's a financial advisor. They're not advisor. They're,
I actually don't know what either one of their titles are.
I don't know what their titles are.
Yeah. Financial gurus. How's that? That's a good title.
Exactly. I'm down for Guru. So you have access to people who are showing up inside of the community, but Lisa has her own space. So she's going to be able to answer questions. She's going to be able to, with when she does the weekly Q&A, you get to bring your questions to a live Q&A.
Sure.
So that's what that meeting is, where you come in with the questions. And we had thought about that format of, does she teach something new every time, or does she this? And Lisa is she's very sassy. She's very involved. And one of the things that she really knows is that you can teach somebody something on financial aspect, but if it's not where they're at,
Hmm.
then it's not going to assist. So she wanted to do a Q&A so people could come where they were at, so she could assist you with where you're at. And that's one of the great things that I love about that. So, and I've been looking to bring financial people in for a while, so I'm super excited.
You have talked about this for a while. And so far we've talked about a collaboration with Terry where we helped her build a networking concept, right?
Mhm.
But the networking concept is all her. She's taking it and running with it. Our concept was some conversations over a 2-day period to get this going, right? And I love it. I love her logo. Do we have her logo somewhere? Can we post that for people? Like her logo?
We cannot put a photo in there. However, what we can do is you guys can go check out BizStorming on Facebook or on LinkedIn. Or it's not on YouTube yet, but Facebook and LinkedIn, go check it out. Her logo is running around there because we just did a few posts on it.
All right. So I do
Or
want, yeah,
Luma. Go to Luma. It's on the Luma event too.
because I'm telling you, any logo that I'm a part of is super cool. So you got to go look at it. But we talked about that, and then we talked about how we already have a community. We brought Lisa in for that collaboration, right? Or I should say Brittany does. I say we because we're both on the call. But so Lisa was brought in for that collaboration, right? And so now Lisa has her own little space, her own little world inside the community, and she's going to run that world. And it's lovely, right? Collaborations don't mean long, drawn out partnerships. It can start with a collaboration and become a partnership, or start as a partnership and have some collaboration. So when we tell you to collaborate with people, it doesn't mean like now you are Brittany and I and you sit in rooms with each other for 8 hours a day. We don't recommend this for anyone. We might be insane. Okay. So we recommend the other side of things, and to do it in the way that works for your business.
Yeah.
But now that I talked about that, let's get into networking, because that is a factor of our life that I feel like I'm networking all the time, Brittany. I feel like I'm networking all the time. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But within that networking, we have met some amazing people.
Yeah.
And one of those groups has turned into a pretty amazing collaborative effort where you created a portion of things that has actually done well in only 2 weeks.
Yeah. So Sarah is talking about the fact that Sarah and I were kind of internally just hanging out, and we weren't externally going anywhere. And not like we were, but we weren't socializing for a minute. We got very internalized. And ironically, Sarah, I was talking to Ian about how I need to network more. Yeah, we'll get there. So
Okay.
here is what ends up happening inside of the networking world. There's places like Alignable. There's places on Facebook. There's different groups
Mhm.
on Facebook, different groups on LinkedIn. Different businesses have different groups. There's the neighborhood. There's a few different
Sure.
networking out there. There's what's the in-person ones? We've got your
The
councils.
BNIs, the Toastmasters, the even Chamber of Commerce has things that are
Yeah.
networking.
So all of those different places are fully loaded and stocked for networking, and some of them cost money, some of them are free. And when you're looking for a networking space, you really want to find a space where you're being seen, heard, and you feel that it brings you value and you bring it value. So Sarah and I were kind of sitting stagnant because we were having a hard time finding groups. And Pal is one of my favorite Pinterest people ever. And she was like, "Oh, I go to Synergy. Here's their link." And she gave me a link and she gave me a time. She's like, "This time and this link." And my OCD went crazy because it wasn't an invite.
Right.
It wasn't an event.
Didn't know anybody. Nobody sent something to our calendar. It was like, what is going wrong here?
And I told Sarah she had to get on the call with me.
Right, I'm not doing this alone. Like,
I put it in Google and I was like, Sarah invited. Like, that was my invite.
Well, it's like, Pa would never invite us to a cult, but we weren't sure. So we're like, let's just, do this together so we can get out together.
And we showed up, and when I tell you the energy, I was telling this to Ian, who is Sid, Ian, and Nick. I was talking to Ian last night because I got held after class. But I was telling him that the energy that Synergy has actually brought back to Sarah and I is phenomenal. Because we're actually able to feed off of that energy to grow, to build, our brains are a little bit more clear. And yes, it's another 2-3 hours a week that we add to our work week. However, what ends up happening is we get that energy from the people who are there, and we love everybody that's there. So it's really been a really great space. And the longer that we were there and the more that we were settled, I got them on a Luma calendar. So now if I want somebody invited, I can say, here's the Luma, luma.com/SIN Urgy.
It's Synergy with the I instead of a Y.
Yeah. So Synergy. And so you can go there directly and you can have that invite. So I talked them into a Luma calendar. And then somehow, I think it was Sarah, we managed to talk them into letting us run a co-working session with them. And that's been really amazing to be able to just walk into a established group and run a meeting and see 3 or 4 people show up every week. We've been building our co-working meetings and our networking meetings for a long time. We have one of them up to about 12 people now. And then we have a few others that have 5 that are, generally come in, and it's always fluctuating. But to come in and actually have it established, Sarah and I aren't twiddling our thumbs on the first day we established the meeting, was really phenomenal.
Yes. And I think we were, a few people in Synergy were new to co-working, right? Like they hadn't really done it. So I've done co-working in person. Brittany and I both have done co-working virtually. And if you haven't done it, check out Brittany's Luma link /BizStorming and check out some of the co-working and things that we do. It really makes a difference to just not sit in silence in your own home and actually work with somebody. And you don't have to talk. You could just mute us or mute you and work in the background and have people talking around you. It's like a weird little office environment. I say weird because God only knows where the conversations go. Okay. So I am warning you, like if you don't want random conversations, this isn't the place to be. But yeah, co-working can really make a difference. And I think with the Synergy group, it was all networking. And I think having this one little bit of something a little different was refreshing too.
Yep. And really inside of that, and this kind of leads into the next thing that we didn't talk about, but we probably should. So with the co-working, Sarah and I use Go Brunch, and Go Brunch is a phenomenal space, and we are actually building a skyscraper. So inside of that skyscraper, we're building a community of people. So I brought up Forrest earlier. Forrest runs his room and his conference room in there. Terry has a room and a conference room. And we have Stephanie, we have Lisa, we have She means impact from Facebook with Julie. There's
Mhm.
a lot of people who are now roaming, quote unquote, roaming the halls.
Yeah.
And so now the lobby is continuously filled with people coming in and out. And sometimes they come in and say, "Hey guys, this is the idea I'm running with. It doesn't look right. Can you give me feedback?" So now they're not working alone, they're
Um,
collaborating with other people.
I want to step back just for a second, okay? Because I just want to explain to people that it really is a skyscraper, but I need you all to like close your eyes, right? And think about this for a second. You step into an online world. The first link takes you into the co-working lobby. And so I want you to imagine you're walking into a business and there's a lobby there with people reading a magazine, other people waiting for meetings, other people chatting in a corner, right? Somebody talking to the security guard, which would be Brittany or I, right? Trying to figure out what floor they have to go to. And then you step into an elevator, right? And it's an all rooms function where you can see all the places you can go. And there's descriptions there, and you can see these little banners for each room, and you can figure out where you need to go. And the idea is that this is going to have 200 rooms in it. So imagine a skyscraper in New York with 200 rooms or 200 floors, or however you want to envision it in your head. And these are all business owners that you can click on and go visit. And if you need financial help, you click over here. If you need HR help, you click over here. If you need accountability, you click over here. If you need tech support, yada, 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 it'll all be there in one building. Okay. So now that I've given that description, I do need a disclaimer, and we're going to mention Forrest again. Forrest is our first and only man who has a room. He is outnumbered. And we need some of you men out there to get a room in the office building because Forrest is outnumbered.
He put an
And
SOS out in Synergy.
he did. So let's help that out and get a couple more men who are entrepreneurs or business owners to come over to our skyscraper. I wanted to describe it a little bit so people have it in their head. And so yeah, Terry, we do have him outnumbered so far. We're definitely not keeping up with our demographic goals.
And I just want to make a caveat because there is a Jetsons version where your client doesn't get lost in the lobby because they have a
Oh, yeah,
direct link to you. So
that is true.
yes, you can walk into the lobby and yes, you can see all the things, but when you have your office, when you have your space, your client has a direct link to your office, so they're not getting lost.
No, no.
So the Jetsons, they can just like zoop, or yeah, I was thinking like Jetsons where he zooms into like each of the windows. Yeah.
Right.
So you could do that, or we could Star Trek and teleport. So however you want to, right? I mean, we do have the Star Trek bar.
Yeah.
So
Teleportation.
there we go. Thank you.
Right.
So that is another way where you can collaborate and work with other people, but really just expanding your circle is important.
But on this level of describing the building and talking about the rooms, we have a couple of minutes left. And one of the things that we are doing, and I don't know if Brittany's actually thought of it this way, but we're having a holiday party. And I view this holiday party as almost like an open house of this skyscraper, where it's going to be giving everyone an opportunity to explore different rooms, to see what Go Brunch and what this skyscraper has to offer with different rooms. But it's also going to be fun. So Brittany, give a short version of it. You've already created 82 pages of stuff for this party. So give the short version. Brittany loves to plan parties. If anybody doesn't know that, she likes to plan anything for that matter, but she likes to plan parties. And so Brittany has like details planned for December 22nd on November 5th. Like, oh, we had those planned last week. However, Brittany's going to give a shortened version of this.
So this is a end of year party. What it is a space where everybody gets to invite everyone that they've networked with throughout the entire year, and we get to just have time to come together. So Bring your non-alcoholics, bring your alcoholics. We don't care. Bring all
You're
the
in your own
things.
home. Drink whatever you want.
Yeah, you're at home. You're not driving anywhere. You're not teleporting places. We got you. But we have built a bingo game. We have built a hopscotch game so that you can hopscotch into different rooms. I have put together a game which is going to start a week before, because with that collaboration, we want people to actually mingle together. So we're going to put 4 people into LinkedIn rooms where they build a space business. I'm super excited. And then you guys are going to vote on which one is, like, we're going to do a vote. So, and then we also took Sarah's room, which is it's an outdoor library tea party room. And I created a musical chairs type game where people will do a business pitch. So if I roll a dice and I land on Sarah, Sarah's going to tell me your business and one name, Sarah, in a adjective for your business.
An adjective. How about I just go with I don't know, an adjective?
Leadership.
Sure, that's not an adjective, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So a noun, whatever. You know what I'm saying.
One
So,
word. Sure.
One word. So off the beaten path, she's going to say off the beaten path and leadership. I'm then going to pitch her business opposite of leadership. And I have 60 seconds and I can't fumble or I get kicked out.
And you can't use leadership. Ooh, that would be
I can't, yeah, it has to be the opposite of, I
right.
have to pitch you as different. So we've created this really fun game, but really the purpose for that is because with that collaboration, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that people found value in coming to this. What is
Right.
the point in going to network if there isn't value? Well, guess what, guys? We have right now 7 different freebies that are in the grab bag. We have 5 different actual door prizes. Forrest has a $200 value for his financial services. We have actually Terry has a $200 or a $300 flight voucher that she's giving. Yeah, there's a flight voucher.
I didn't
going
hear
out
about
there.
that. Where am I flying to? Oh, I can't win.
You can't win. I know.
People
I can't
host
win.
the parties can't win. All
Yep.
right.
I was totally thinking that I could go to Sarah, she could come to me, but we can't win. So there, and Donna the astronomer has star charts.
That's right, star chart.
I'm super excited. But yeah, we have grab bags and we have goodie bags and we have games and we have a way for you to explore and run around the office and just have fun. So we're super excited to see the fun that everybody gets to have.
Yes. So we want you all to register. And Brittany will put that link in there.
It's already in there.
Wonderful. And when you register, there are options. If you have something that you want to put in the freebie bag or into a door prize concept, there are options to participate in that. But all in all, we want you to attend. We want you to be there. And if you're already registered, Terry, invite people, right? Invite people that might like to come. So
yeah, and when you
Monday evening.
When you're a sponsor, we're actually promoting you and your sponsorship. So
yes.
That's an extra added space for you to be. So definitely take that in and really show up because we're excited. You actually get your own personalized invite.
Ooh, I forgot. Yes. All right. So I think we've talked about quite a few things. I think we've talked about partnerships and collaboration and networking and our holiday party, and we did it in 34 minutes. However, Brittany, what if somebody's watching and doesn't know who we are? They're like, ooh, who are all these like unleashed people? I don't know. So Brittany, tell us who you are and why we should know Brittany.
So I am Brittany. I am an accountability tech strategist. So what I do is I take business owners who are tornadoes in a bottle. They're doing all of the, they're doing everything that they can to work, but they're not really feeling that they're making an impact on the world. So what I do is I help them align with their business and shatter the glass to actually make that impact and be a tornado and a force where it is actually going to get them where they want to go. And how about you, Sarah?
Well, what I do love is when every once in a while somebody misspells something, and it's very funny. So Terry's working on initiations today, and I'm just wondering what group she's initiating people into. I think she means invitations. It's just cute. But I am Sarah. I am an HR fixer and a leadership strategist, so I build those type of programs for small and medium-sized companies. But leadership and HR training is boring, and so I am putting it on its head, and I've developed some leadership coloring books to enhance some of those leadership trainings. Yes, leadership coloring books for adults, not adult coloring books. We will put my links in there too somewhere, and you can check those out. But thank you all for being here, and now I am going to figure out how to play the song. No, I'm telling everybody my problems. I'm going to tell everybody I don't know how to play the song. So 1 second. Where do I go? Banners, media assets.
Media.
And then, oh, here we go. All right, I'm going to play the song and we're going to head out. Maybe. Nope, it's not letting me play it.
It won't let you play the song?
Oh, wait, maybe not.
1 2 1 2, need my attitude. 3 4 3 4, check my latitude.